Hello class, my name is John Garcia and this is Group 14. We'll now be presenting the second part of our project, the Asian-based stock market simulator. During this presentation, we will discuss globalization to show how the project will be successful, standards consideration to show some standards that the project seeks to comply with, feasibility analysis to show how the project can be done, risk analysis to discuss different risks that may appear during the project's progress, plan of action to show some tasks that the team needs to follow, multidisciplinary aspects and personnel to show how the team members complement each other, budget to discuss if the project is financially possible, and product description to show what the team wishes to implement, and conclusion to wrap everything up. Do you know that last year almost $7 trillion were lost in the stock market globally? What if you could practice your strategies without risking your hard-earned money? In today's interconnected world, the global stock market plays an important role in shaping economies and affecting the life of millions. The stock market can be complex and unpredictable, and that's why our project or our product will provide investors with a realistic virtual trading environment to help them gain valuable insights into global market trends. Imagine yourself feeling confident and familiar with your investment decisions. You could potentially earn returns on your buys and secure your financial future. Our product is designed to help investors in every nation, and that's why we contacted two students from two different backgrounds in order to get their ideas on how other cultures may receive our product. First, we contacted a student from Universidad Centroamericana in Nicaragua. His name is Lester San Pedro, and he claims that our project will be a giant leap in that country, since it will mean a step forward in encouraging stock market investment in Nicaragua. Next, we contacted Kevin Rivera from York University in Toronto, Canada, and he claims that our project will help build confidence while trading in real life if their predictions are accurate during the simulations. Standards are also a crucial part for project management in order to ensure that our product is accepted by different markets. This makes the product more likely to be produced, comply with different regulations, and succeed. Some IEE standards may be necessary for this product. First, we have the IEEE standard 1516-2010, which is a standard for network simulated systems and offers recommendations on modeling, simulation best practices, and interoperability. Next, we have the IEEE standard 1320.1/1998, which is also a framework for creating software models and simulations and offers instructions on model creation, documentation, and validation. And finally, we have the IEEE standard 1730/2014, which offers guidelines for developing agent-based models, including suggestions about agent interactions and evaluating simulation outcomes. These IEEE standards are valuable tools for developers working on agent-based simulations, including stock market simulators, because it provides a comprehensive guidance on best practices, accuracy, and interoperability.
Hello everybody, my name is Jose Maceira and I will discuss the feasibility analysis and the risk analysis. Before starting an engineering project, a feasibility analysis is performed to find its worthiness and practicality. The project is assessed from 7 different aspects, given scores, and then analyzed to evaluate its value. As you can see in this table, we use technical, resource, economic, schedule, cultural, legal, and marketing as the aspect to evaluate. Then the team gives a score to each one of them to show how important they are compared to the others. Lastly, we found the weight by dividing the mean and the total value of each aspect, and we get these weights right here. To finish the section, we have to find the weighted average. To do this, we use the weight and the individual score of each one of the aspects, and we get a total of 4.10, exceeding the cutoff of 3 and demonstrating a high possibility of project completion. Now, for the risk analysis, an essential section for the planning, evolution, and completion of the project. It helps us to identify potential risks that may affect the project's success in the future. As you can see, these are the aspects that we find in each one of the points. In technical, programming advice environment, programming advice code and user interface communications, populating advice with enough agents. In resources, acquire advanced programming skills, acquire new knowledge about the stock market. Economic, exceeding budget. Schedule, team members, procrastinations, and the time to learn necessary skills. In cultural, not socially accepted. In legal, we didn't find any possible impact in the legal market. And in marketing, low acceptance by the market and emergence of similar competitive products. After identifying these risks, the team should start creating backup plans, identifying solutions to address these problems. By identifying and addressing problems early, we can save time and resources in the future. With this, I conclude the feasibility analysis and risk analysis. Next, my colleague will follow with the plan of action of the project.
Hello, my name is Jorge Valdez Santiago, and I will discuss the team's plan of action to achieve the completion of our project. A plan of action includes a statement of work, a work breakdown structure, the project's milestone, a Gantt chart, and a PERT chart. The statement of work describes a project's scope, location, period, and the responsibilities for each team member. The scope of a project states the techniques and tools that will be used for the project. Our project scope will involve the use of the Python language, the Advice library, and its appropriate software. The location in the statement of work, as the term implies, describes the location where the project work will take place. Since the team consists of remote students, this project will take place mostly online and through means such as GitHub. The period of our project is a time frame in which the project work will take place. Our project period will be between January 9, 2023 and late summer 2023. To accomplish the creation of a project efficiently, the team must assign responsibilities to its members. For the agent-based stock market simulator, the team will have the following responsibilities. Ronald Garcia will lead and oversee the project's development. Jose Maceda will design and develop the simulator's framework and UI. Daniel Mendez will design and program the simulator's framework and UI. And Jorge Valdez Santiago, which is me, will program and test the simulator's framework and UI. Moving to the work breakdown structure, work breakdown structure is a tree-like diagram that divides the project into different phases. Here is the work breakdown structure for our project. Over here is the project name, here are the project's phases, and here are the tasks for each of the project phases. The first phase is research, which contains a task about gathering information. The second phase is the project setup, the moment when the team gathers the appropriate software to develop the simulator. The third phase is the framework, one of the most important phases. This phase will handle the software programming tasks. Phase 4 is UI development. This phase will handle the development of the UI to make the simulator more user-friendly. And the final phase is the prototype phase, which contains the finished project testing tasks. To keep track of the project's completion progress, the project milestones should be created. The framework should be completed by June 26, the user interface by July 17, and the prototype by July 21. To organize a project's task schedule, a Gantt chart is created. A Gantt chart is a visualization of the completion schedule of the tasks, and is used to organize tasks and improve efficiency. Here is the Gantt chart for our project, and this was created using Project Libre. Some tasks depend on the completion of other tasks. To view this, a program evaluation and review technique chart is created. This chart is used to organize the task into different steps. Here is the PERT chart for the agent-based stock market simulator. Since the PERT chart is large, I divided it into different sections for better view. Here are the tasks from the research and project setup phases, and here for the other 3 phases. To review the agent-based stock market simulator, project statement of work, the work breakdown structure, the project's milestone, Gantt chart, and PERT chart were discussed. Now moving on, I will discuss the project's multidisciplinary background. This will involve discussing the diverse backgrounds and area of knowledge and the backgrounds of each of the team members. For a project to be successful, it requires members with different backgrounds and areas of knowledge in order to address different tasks effectively. And here are our team's background. The team has a background in programming, however, these are our different areas of knowledge. Ronald Garcia, the team's leader, has economics. Jose Maceira has a background in data analysis. Donny Mendez and I have a background in software development. To recap, the importance of diverse backgrounds and areas of knowledge and the team's member backgrounds were discussed in this section. Now I will discuss the project's personnel in more detail. As mentioned in the multidisciplinary background, listed here is the team who will work on the agent-based stock market simulator. Ronald Garcia, as I mentioned earlier, is a team leader. His major is computer engineering and has technical skills in C programming, Python, Microsoft Office programs, and AutoCAD. Jose Maceira is majoring in computer engineering and has technical skills in C programming, Python, Multisim, and AutoCAD. Donny Mendez is majoring in electrical engineering and has technical skills in Java programming, Python, and MATLAB. And Jorge Valdez Santiago, which is me, I'm majoring in computer engineering and I have technical skills in C programming, Python, Spider, and Jupyter Notebook. Those were the backgrounds for the team members working on the agent-based stock market simulator.
My name is Donny Mendez, and I'll be covering the budget and the end product description sections. The budget section is meant to define the line for how much funds are needed to cover expenses. Within the project, it is necessary to work within the budget to cover operating costs and the team's working hours. On our chart, it is seen that our research and our project setup section are valued at $0. The reason we did this is because these requirements were met prior to the implementation of our product. For the last three sections, which is our framework, UI development, and our prototype, we got cost analysis of each part. These are broken down to each of the subsections and phases. On the table closest to me, we have calculated 378.5 hours per designer for $15 per hour. We also got the electricity usage at 561 hours. This should sufficiently cover the expenses in our design process. Our end product description and other deliverables section is to discuss the visualization and steps for our product. This not only helps create an image for our client, but helps the team comprehend the final design for our project. With concise understanding of what our project entails, it establishes its focus, helping to improve the flow of our project and minimize problems. So to start off with our level 0 functionalities for our stock market simulator, which starts with a user interaction to stock market simulator to the outcome of the market. Though it is very simplified, we'll go more into the stock market simulator itself. So the components are the user interface, the kernel, the agent, and the order book. Our user interface is what the client will input to start the kernel, which is basically the head of the system. Then our kernel will communicate with the agents and order book to ensure all rules are met. Through our agents, it will deliver each different agent implemented in our system to create the orchestrated environment intended. Within our base agent is the order book, which will cause an agent to buy and sell stocks. To go further into each of those components, we discussed first our user interface, which will be the forefront for setting configuration and rules that must be followed for our simulation to be successful, then providing feedback and messages to our users. From these configurations, the kernel must acknowledge these changes and enforce them into the system. Hence, it's being the head of the system as it controls the rules applied for our order book and agent. Going on to our agent, our base agent is the class that will activate the methods needed in each of the agents. When each agent is activated, it will affect the outcome of the market, with every activation providing us with a randomized but accurate finding of the market. Lastly, our order book, as its name states, is to act as another class for buying and selling stock. This is under the command of the agent as well. It also limits orders that cannot be fully made and holds them for a better opening in the market. For our deliverables, we will be giving a pseudocode of our agent-based simulator and each of those components discussed. We will also be giving a functioning prototype. In conclusion, we went over our globalization to
and standards to better fit into diverse and international markets. Our feasibility analysis to ensure our proposed project will be attainable. Our risk analysis to identify potential risks and minimize those risks. Plan of action to show how we completed the project. Multidisciplinary aspects and personnel, both to describe each of our designers and what they did in our projects. Our budget to show our budget and planning, and our end product description to show the design of the final product.